Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos, doggone it. My name is Johnboy. It is Johnboy time. I'm your host, John Francis Fahey. Joining me, as ever, is Pinnacle of Perfection Perversion, Aaron Joseph Peter.
Dude, flame on.
How are you?
Flaming
Cool.
on. I'm flaming on and on and on.
I love it, man.
Now,
To your right.
my right, your
Left.
Pool, pond.
Matt Brousseau.
Oh, Dodger wanted me. Dodger.
Oh, great.
The Canuck who doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, very
Okay,
nice.
all right,
Very good. Yeah, Dodger wanted me to say, he wanted me to introduce us as, you've heard of the four tops, here's the three bottoms.
That's really good.
It's really good.
I
Very
can't
good,
believe
Dodger.
we missed that.
Very good.
The four tops.
The three bottoms is really
Incredibly good.
Very good.
so stupid
Yeah.
that
is.
it's
So are we.
Oh, speaking of stupid things,
Uh-huh.
Hi.
Great. Spitting up.
we were out there, in the other room, and I was telling Aaron, I was going, I like to fucking. I was saying, I was gonna do another aviator, but I was like, we've done like 3 aviators on the show, and I was like, I don't want to do another
At least.
aviator, and Aaron goes, you should do a Submariner, like Namor or Aquaman, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, I like when those guys, the Atlanteans that are just like straight up fish,
Yeah.
because I was like, why the fuck, Namor's down under the water with fucking perfect hair.
Yeah.
Makes no fucking sense.
And then there's Jeff the fish.
And so then we it got onto a riff about Warren Zevon, and I was like, he's like, his hair was perfect.
because he's underwater.
Yeah.
And so then Aaron says,
Saw an Atlantean drinking a pina colada at Davy Jones' locker. It was piss.
just no sense at all. I saw an Atlantean drinking a pina colada.
And then you went, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Yep.
It was piss. Makes no sense.
It's piss perfect.
It was piss.
Now, speaking of,
Those Atlanteans, dude, I mean, they're peeing in their water. You know they're drinking it.
oh,
You got it.
Aye.
You
They
got
love it.
And the fish Atlanteans, they're breathing it.
Yeah, they love it.
Matt, we got the Plasma Princess. She's back in the news.
Oh, that's great.
You want to hear her new thing?
You're going to love it. You're gonna,
Yeah, hi, my name is Plasma Princess 33 and I'm a recovering raw vegan. I used to care a lot about what other people ate before I realized it was my own unintegrated shadow. And as it turns out, I just like to drink my pee.
So she's entered the shadow realm, or she's left it. I can't.
I didn't understand it at all, and then Aaron actually broke it all down.
Oh, okay.
should I again?
Please.
Yes.
It's my understanding that your shadow, it ain't just for Peter Pan anymore, fellas. Although it could be. I think that's from Carl Jung in the way he dealt with parts of psychology. And so your shadow is like, it's your dark side, or the things about yourself that you would consider dark, or
Insecure about.
the things about yourself you don't like, or the negative parts, right? And so in order to become like a fully, functioning person, you have to integrate your shadow, because bad things happen when you ignore it or deny it, right? And
You
they
must
come-
reconcile the light with the dark.
That's right.
Right.
The yin and the yang. You must become a gray.
Yeah, the yin and the yang.
Yeah, and you have to be twins. What?
Naturally, of course.
Bet you didn't know your big brother could do this.
And so, so oftentimes, like, the things in other people that you don't like are really just things about yourself.
Projection.
Yeah,
Sure. Well, that's
projections.
why it's so easy for you to notice them.
That's right. And really not like them, because it's hard for yourself to, take a look at yourself in the mirror and not like those things. And so really what it comes down to is that she just does like to drink piss. And that's definitely not vegan. It's an animal product.
And maybe she used to judge people about what they put in their body.
And then she realized, wait a minute.
And she's like, hold on.
I drink my own piss.
She's like, hold on a second. I'm over here chugging whiz.
This guy's eating a nice steak. And here I am judging him?
Yeah, I'm pointing fingers.
I must be tripping.
Yeah.
I must stink.
Yup.
More like yum.
But Aaron, did you have...
Did we already do the sorry my farts stink? My girlfriend ate my ass last night and she has bad breath. Did I say that yet?
You said it on the Patreon.
I believe it was on the Patreon, yeah.
God, well, now I said it on the regular episode, and I just thought that was a really funny joke.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really, really mean. Really.
So Plasma Princess's boyfriend his farts must really stink.
So
His farts must stink like
So
piss.
I showed this to Aaron, and he goes, man, I really hope she's drinking her boyfriend's piss. And he goes, otherwise, why are you dating?
It's true. You double the output.
Yeah.
Did you want to? Did you have a thing?
Well, you had was that the recording you were going to play, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I found this today.
Do you need this?
I don't have an aux. I have a
yes,
dongu, but I think it's okay.
You can play it in the mic.
Yeah, I think I'll just play it in the microphone. So, do you know who the porn star Carmen Karma is?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
I love it when I don't know a porn star because I'm like amazed I
Is
don't.
this her?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know her.
That's nice.
You've seen her probably.
Yeah, on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, in this, she looks really great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just. This is her on some podcast, and just the enthusiasm, the delivery of all this is. I'm gonna have to say, NSFW on this one.
Not safe.
For
Whitey.
correct.
That's exactly right.
My boyfriend was asleep, so I wanted to go fuck my ex real quick. So I drove down to the gas station, let him cream pie me, and then I came home to sneak into bed. My boyfriend woke up and then wanted to fuck me, and he started eating me out and told me how good my pussy tastes, and he's eating my ex's cum out of me, and I never told him.
Oh my God. Good Lord.
At a gas station?
Yeah, well, that's where she got the cream. She picked up the
Yeah,
cream pie there, and probably some fucking Camel Crushes or something like that.
I mean, while you're there, and
You might as well. You're down there.
maybe some Skittles or something.
Yeah, the sour one.
Yeah. Oh no, not for me.
No.
I like the regular ones.
Oh well, ever since they changed lime to green apple, I mean, the regular is the best.
Y'all want to get into it?
Yeah,
I mean,
Carmen Karma,
wow.
Carmen.
chameleon.
Oh God.
She's a Carmen Karma chameleon.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
You don't even know whose cum this is. Yum.
She's so excited telling that story to the world.
I'm guessing the relationship ended well.
I have to just probably together. They're probably still together. Getting filled up at the gas station regularly.
Yeah. No, she got premium.
Yeah. Self-serve? Full serve, pal.
Yeah. Watch the windows too.
Do you think she was watching those little screens on the pump that play like Mario Lopez and?
Oh yeah, I love gas station TV.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and the minute you're done pumping, they're like, all right, that's it, buddy.
Yeah, you're out of here.
Get out of here.
You don't get free TV.
Move over. I want to talk about Patty Hearst, man.
Patty Hearst heard the worst of Roland's Thompson gun and body.
Yeah.
Back to the Warrens.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do love this story so much. I do like to not really focus on her too much, even though it is, perhaps, the craziest person in it is to Patty Hearst. But the SLA is also just very interesting.
No, those are those people who were refugees from Sibia.
That's right. I knew that was gonna come up. No, it's the Symbionese Liberation Army.
Now, can you tell us what that is?
It's a word that Donald DeFreeze made up, the leader of the group, who it was supposed to be from symbiosis, and it was supposed to be all peoples fighting for leftist anti-capitalist causes together.
Cool.
Their whole fucking thing is just such a hodgepodge of stuff. It's just like taken from like all like it's kind of a wreck. They're like literature. You know what I mean? But you get it. Fight the power is the general deal, you know. But you know, they there wasn't many of them. He was the only black member after one guy left, Donald DeFreeze. And you know, the rest of them were like white kids at college in Berkeley, you know. But you know, there was, you know, like, you know, a couple of like lesbian girls and stuff, you know. Everybody was kind of fucking everybody, and that's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was you know, that it was that time, very much in California.
What time are we talking about?
74 is when the kidnapping happened. But before that, you know, Patty Hearst, of course, from granddaughter of William Randolph Hearst. Hearst Castle, the basis of Citizen Kane.
Hearst Publishing.
Hearst Publishing. And then even him before that was the oil guy. Like it was just you know,
That dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, just overwhelmingly, you know, crazy and amounts of money. And so her dad was Little Randy. Right?
Her dad's name was Little Randy?
No,
Was
no,
he an actor?
He went by Randy, but it was Randolph again, you know. And
He's Lil Randy.
Little Randy.
Lil.
He's a little Randy.
And you know, so it was like, but they weren't, you know, they weren't doing the Paris Hilton thing. It wasn't like, hey, here we are, we're famous and rich.
Right.
They were low key and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of how the kidnapping happened, because it was just like, we were not bodyguard people. We keep it low key. But they were like in like the whole Hillsborough area outside San Francisco.
Okay.
Very, very, very snooty. You know, and Patricia was, I think, the youngest, maybe of 5, and she was kind of the rebellious one. And you know, they had
the youngest one. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
the other ones all had gigs.
But she had, you know, they had like a nanny lady that would kind of like, you know, discipline her and stuff. I think I hit her with a hairbrush or something.
Jesus.
Like that. Yeah. Which is fine back then.
Better than a hammer, I guess.
But she was, you know, a little precocious, right? And she was like bored of this shit, man. You know, her mom was just kind of like a society lady and stuff. And you know, when she was young, she got she's still in high school. She had this tutor who's this guy named Stephen Weed, right? And she falls for him.
Oh boy.
And that's not looked at favorably.
Steve Weed? No.
Stephen Weed. But he was like, you know, he had like a groovy Volkswagen and a mustache, you know.
And a legal name change.
yeah.
No, it's his real name. You know, but
and he kept getting older, but all the students he tutored were the same age.
Yeah, but you know, it was a thing where even then it was like she was kind of rushing headlong into he was like a teacher, you know, like it wasn't you know, like going to be the most thrilling, and you know, she wanted to get married very much, but she was like still in high school when they kind of got together. He was a little bit older, but then it was like they're both going to UC Berkeley together, and
yikes.
And there was you know, an engagement notification in the paper, and the
family's paper,
the SLA had you know, a hideout, and it wasn't too far, and so they actually got the idea from the newspaper, from announcing her engagement to this guy Stephen Weed to kidnap Patty Hearst.
I mean, you know, because she wasn't. You said she wasn't doing the Paris Hilton thing, right? Like, so she's not a socialite,
right? But
she is from a very well-known, very wealthy family.
Yes, famously wealthy.
Yeah, famous for being wealthy, right?
Right, but the same way you and I don't know what Rockefellers look like.
Right, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I know what Rockefeller looks like. So they see her engagement note, you know, in the paper, and they go, "Oh, she's rich."
Right.
Basically. Right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And then not only like worse than that, they, like one of them was like, "Oh yeah," and then like you can just go to like fucking UC Berkeley and like get they have like a. Like basically like a listing.
Right. For a directory.
Sure.
Yeah. And so like
plus she's marrying the guy who invented weed.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so he's rich.
Yeah.
Cool car. He's a find.
Yeah, that dude is. I mean, there's so many fucking characters in that story, and he's one of them. Like, there's so many good ones. But so that's the little kind of of Patty Hearst, right? It's a low key sort of life, but one of the stories was that they would go to these kind of society parties, with the wealthy. Mm-hmm. And Steven was kind of more into it than her. She was pretty much bored to tears. And the only one she really perked up at was when he brought graduate student Errol Morris.
Oh, no shit.
And Errol Morris had just interviewed Ed Gein. Oh. So she was like, "Oh, tell me everything about that." Wow. So again, another clue that you're like, "Oh,
she's a freak.
Patty's a freak, dude." Yeah. And
Ed Gein, famous
cannibal killer from Wisconsin. Yes.
Basis a little bit for Buffalo Bill,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Where I think he killed and had sex with his mother's corpse.
Yes.
We could talk about him one day.
Quoted by American Psycho.
Yeah. What her face would look like. Her head would look like on a stick.
Yeah. But so then the SLA, like I said, they're kind of just this amalgamation of kids that are getting radicalized while at school, which is very understandable in the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
school is radical. Stay in school, kids.
Mm-hmm. He, the leader, Donald DeFreeze, was the only one that really had any kind of pedigree of violence. Some of the parents of the SLA kids were just like, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't get they're just like, I just don't understand. What's like.
Right. So like, you got to figure like summer, 68, 69 at Berkeley was like the time and place to be there. Mm-hmm. Our main man, Ted Kaczynski, was there as a young professor, not doing shit.
The only guy not getting laid.
Yeah, not getting laid, not getting radicalized. He would save that for later. And then, few years go by, the summer of love is not so lovey. Mm-hmm. But then you have like Nixon's in office.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like
the tenor of the country is changing.
It's starting to get darker, heroin's fucking getting nasty. Smog everywhere, and the hippie dream is kind of dying.
Right, we've already had Manson happen,
right? And
stuff.
When was Watergate? 74 as well.
That would be around there.
Yeah, so
Kent State in 74.
Right. So things are taking a turn from the idealistic.
And not only that, but there's also the in San Francisco, where we start. It's also the Death Angel killings. You know about those, like the zebra murders or whatever. Mm-mm. So that was the thing where it was 4 black dudes that were like serially killing random white people. And so that was on at the time of the kidnapping, and also Zodiac was happening. So
in the same area.
Yeah, so it's tense.
Yeah,
I never heard about the Death Angel stuff. I never heard of a black serial killer.
Let alone 4 of them acting as a group. It was so in their own way they were doing like a political thing too.
Yeah,
they were just like, what if we
could do it just as well. What
if we just slowly reduce the white population one by one? Yeah. Which is probably a better plan than the SLA had. But yeah, so DeFreeze, he gets arrested with some weapons when he's younger, and then some of the probation people said he had like schizophrenic tendencies.
And he was a student he was from Berkeley area as well?
No. He grew up like New York, Cleveland, and stuff like that.
But he hadn't moved to Berkeley?
Yeah, the first time he was arrested is like 64 West Covina.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. And they found a bunch of weapons and stuff. And but he's got like a wife and like 3 kids. And in 69, they were him and another guy were arrested for kidnapping the caretaker of a synagogue, and like a lot of these arrests, like they kind of go nowhere. He in 69 Cleveland, he was on the roof of a bank carrying 2 pistols and a dagger, and they found burglary, stuff, and a hand grenade.
Hey,
Yeah, you never know.
Why not?
You never know.
And
are there other types of grenades?
There's feet grenades and knee grenades. And,
ball grenades.
yeah. Ball grenades, yeah.
I'm brewing up a ball grenade, baby.
Yeah, all over you. Fire in the hole.
It's all pissed.
So he I think he paid $5,000 bail money, and then he went to Los Angeles, and he was arrested in Los Angeles in '69 gun battle with the police.
And they didn't kill him?
He was sent to prison, and then he got kind of involved with black rights stuff through people that were in prison, and there was ties to University of California, Berkeley.
And about how old is he here? Let's say 70s or 69, 70. How old is this guy with a wife and 3 kids?
He was born 43.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
around 30.
So
he's in his 30s.
Oh, well, yeah. By the
Late
time
30s.
the kidnapping happens, he's 31.
Okay.
Right? Yes, that's my math is good there, I think.
It's fine.
So there you can see through this organization, which is called the Black Cultural Association, some of the people, this is the beginnings of the ties to Berkeley.
Okay.
And then there's another Black Panther in there, and Thurrow Wheeler. And so that's basically where the beginnings of the SLA are in this network association with prison and Berkeley.
Cool.
And so then he's transferred to Soledad prison in '72. He escapes in '73. He goes to Oakland, and he was hidden by friends from the BCA, the Black Cultural Association, and so now it's just the beginning of the SLA, and he's getting members. And he takes the name Field Marshal Cinque. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Cinque.
Got it.
And a lot of nods to Cuban stuff. And that was not even the correct pronunciation.
No.
I think it's supposed to be Cinque.
Yeah.
And which is uncomfortable to say.
Or it could be Cinque.
Yeah. And so that was from the Amistad, the rebel slave ship.
Oh, I've seen that movie.
And he took the Swahili surname for the word prophet was Matume. Then there was Joe Ramiro was a guy that was a Vietnam vet. A couple of these guys were Vietnam vets.
Makes sense around that time.
Yeah, and then there was Angela Atwood. She was a friend of William and Emily Heiress, who were like the only couple in the group that I think weren't fucking everybody. And
I'm sorry, they were the only couple in the group, but everybody else was fucking everybody.
yes, exactly.
So nice.
Yeah. And so one of the first things they do is this really fucked up crime where they killed the superintendent of Oakland schools, Marcus Foster, saying that he was, basically supporting racist policies in schools. And everybody on the left was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we all like that guy. And he was like a beloved member of the community.
Damn.
And so it is like kind of a public relations disaster for them. And they are also, a bunch of them are actors. And that's why you see so much of the theatricality and the drama of the SLA. Is they are fucking
actors.
Yeah, they're actors, man, and they're fucking.
Dude, that is funny.
It is, and that's why they have like, so many manifestos that like just take from every kind of rebel school of thought.
They're not terrorists; they're artists, man.
Yeah,
they're terror artists.
Terror artists,
and like the staged photos.
Yeah,
where it's like, let's get a beret. When
no, we gotta do it again. Take it from my good son.
Someone do set design for this kidnapping and murder.
Yeah, and
fuck, there's no crafty here.
Yeah.
So
dude, actors as
actors
terrorists,
are the best.
Yeah,
dude, actors as terrorists is like Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
And it's so you know, like I said, a lot of the stuff with Bader Meinhof were like, yeah, let's get into gunfights with the cops. You know, they were very much on that. SLA leaned way more that way than say the Weather Underground, that were like, let's try not to have anybody die if possible.
Right.
You know, and we're a far more effective terrorist group, in most ways.
Let's break Timothy Leary out of jail.
Except for their makeup. Their makeup was much worse.
The Weather Underground?
Yeah.
Meaning their like facial makeup, not the makeup of their groups.
Yes.
Yeah. What was their makeup?
Well, I mean, imagine the SLA.
L'Oreal, or Maybelline.
You know, they probably had someone.
Or maybe they were born with it.
They had someone who would do that before they went out, you know.
Or it's maybe easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. I don't know what their makeup.
So around this time, so it happens, you know, and that's a big story, right? So Patty Hearst is aware.
It's a big story that they're actors.
No, it's a big story that they killed the superintendent.
Yeah. That everybody liked.
Yeah. That everybody liked. Okay. And that, you know, hey, there's, you know, there's a new group in town, and they will do murders. You know? And so
with flourish.
So the two guys that did it though, they get caught. And so
fabulously.
When Patty Hearst is kidnapped, it is basically like they see the thing in the paper, and they're like, hey, we also kind of got to clear up. We need like kind of a propaganda win.
Ooh.
Because we have our names kind of mud right now from that whole superintendent thing.
Press release.
Because they were like people were like, why? They were like, we killed him because of Vietnam, and it's like the superintendent from the school, like. What does he have to do with Vietnam?
In San Francisco, right?
Yeah. But they just made like a laundry list of grievances of why they did it. But it was
any of them make sense?
Well, a lot of them just had the word line.
Well, people like leftists even in Berkeley were like, no, we all think that guy is like doing a good job. Right. Like we think he's not the enemy.
But they really did. Their rationale was some.
Donald had something about this guy. Right. It was the basic deal.
Got it.
And you know, probably like the white college kids were like, oh, whatever he says,
sure.
You know.
Please keep fucking our girlfriends.
Yeah. So like they go with Donald and one of the girls, and it's like it's a fucking shit show from like the beginning. They carjack somebody, okay, on the way to the kidnapping, okay, to get a car. Right? And then there's like another car there, so why did you even have to take that one? There's a bunch of them involved.
Costume change.
Yeah. One of the girls knocks on the door.
Intermission, dude. Intermission.
Patty Hearst is inside eating fucking tuna sandwiches and chicken soup with Stephen Weed, you know, and they're just like, they watch Mission Impossible, they're getting ready to like do like homework. And there's a knock on the door, and this girl's like, hey, I think I hit your car outside. I need to use your phone. And Patty Hearst is like in the other room or something, and
Steve's like, no,
then
fucking rad.
Then she hears this crash, and now you know Donald and I think maybe it is William Harris is in there, and they're like tying him up, and fucking. You know, he's going. He's like, take whatever you want. You know, he's like, and
take Patty.
and then you know, he has like Donald DeFreeze has like a homemade sap. And
sorry, what?
A sap is like a cudgel, like a piece of lead covered in leather that you would
a baton.
Yeah, it's smaller though.
Like a blackjack.
You know when you see like
blackjack.
Yeah. Like one of those kinds of things. And so he knocks
a riding crop.
Smaller though, smaller. They're small and heavy. So
not for riding the horse, not for making the horse run faster, but for knocking it out.
Yeah, putting it to sleep.
Yeah.
Night. So he puts Stephen to sleep. And now the neighbor, he pokes his head in. He's another guy named Steve, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on in this crazy apartment?"
Hey, I'm Steve Crack.
Now, and
I feel it when the other Steve does.
They start tying up Patty, and they're saying something about looking for a safe. So they think it's about money, and then like
we're eating tuna sandwiches and having soup.
Well, they just assume that it's Patty Hearst. She's got money, but also. They're not really taking shit, so she's like, what's going on?
Steven's cigarette comes in, and they tie him up.
Steven, the neighbor, comes in, he gets the sap, you know? and then other Steven wakes up, and he just books it. He runs away.
Wow.
Legs it.
Steve Weed is gone.
Stephen Weed is out the gate.
Dude, out the gateway drug.
Yeah, Carl Lewis, dude.
Crime Dog McGruff is like, should have had some inhaler.
He was fucking just gone, right? And so now now the other fucking neighbors are coming out. And Donald DeFreeze is like, he's like got his guns out. He's like, get the fuck away. Like they're in like a dorm, you know?
I got 2 guns plus a dagger.
And a grenade.
Yeah, watch it. You don't want to know what kind of grenade
or where it is.
I got this sap too. No. And so then they go out to the car where there's a carjacked car with the kidnapped carjacked victim in the back seat.
Oh, hell of a ride.
Wait here.
Yeah, and somebody's in that car watching him because he's like under a blanket.
Don't you move.
So yeah, somebody else is in another
Get
car
sapped.
for no reason. They're trying. They have the trunk open, and then like he accidentally closes it. Patty starts to run away.
Oh,
it's
God.
a fucking shit show. And then they William Harris gets her back real quick. And then she ends up in the trunk, and she's just like in a robe and like slippers and like panties or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, I knew you'd get excited about that.
Well, I love panties.
I know, and she's like it's really cold and stuff, and she goes basically she goes, I hit the fucking the trunk, it shuts, and then I go like, she goes, and then I realize like, oh, this is because I'm a Hearst. And then she realizes what's going on.
Okay.
And then she
was the safe.
She's taken back to the hideout, and so but historically, this is where it gets a little weird about what's the order of events, because there's Patty's story, and then there's other stuff.
maybe it wasn't chicken soup.
Right. Yeah, the chicken and the egg.
Cream of mushroom.
Yeah, it was
delicious.
But so she's kept in a closet with a mattress. In her version of events,
big closet or small mattress.
It could be standing up.
Yeah, it could be standing up.
Yeah, it could be a nice walk-in closet.
Yeah.
And so she says she's kept in there for like.
No, the mattress was held hostage too.
Yeah, exactly. The mattress.
Hey.
Yeah.
Stole a
I
mattress.
could talk to you.
Mattress checked.
They they keep her in there. She said for like 56 or 57 days. But and she says she was kind of lectured at and told about how the guys that they're trying to trade her for in negotiation are the guys that shot the superintendent that went to jail. But Reagan is like we are absolutely not doing that. So that's shut down real quick.
I heard.
And
I heard that Hearst fella is a pinko commie.
Yeah, I would good people told me.
He hates this shit. He's governor, and he hates this shit.
This is as he's governor of California.
Yeah.
Right. Especially because this is Black Panther time.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I guess, his son.
Yeah, it was the last time California passed some real strict gun laws when the Black Panthers had them.
Yeah, when they.
That's right.
These fellas can't be having
Ronald Reagan Jr., he says, is like the enduring image of my father is, the one from the presidency where it's this softer, kind old man. But he goes, people forget about like the angry Reagan of the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
He was very angry.
Sure.
Very law and order.
Which he would have guest starred on if he was alive.
Boom, boom, boom. Yo,
Newsflash.
Mr.
You have Alzheimer's. Newsflash, those aren't jelly beans.
Ice-T and Ronald Reagan.
Plus, you're gay.
Me and Ronald Reagan got along, man. I added that song, I Love My KKK, bitch.
Let me just say this. They're the reason they call Nancy the throat girl. Bob, black sheep, have you any throat?
Oh, my God. Good Lord.
Anyways, put this burp in jail. Have some Cheerios, motherfucker.
Heart health. It's no joke, man. She's told she'll be kept in accordance with the Geneva Conventions of
good.
of how prisoners will be treated and stuff. But when you see the movie that's kind of based on her book and stuff, it's very much like, she's kept in the closet, and then somebody comes in and lectures her, and then she's brainwashed. But also, during this, Angela, who was one of Angela Atwood.
She's the wife?
No, that's Heiress.
Got it.
She's just another girl in there.
She's fucking
and she's she kind of befriends her with Willie Wolf. And Willie Wolf was the one that had the dad that was like, fucking, I don't understand what happened. He's like, my son was very sweet and kind. And that was even kind of backed up by Patty Hearst in some ways. But so the two of them are basically kind of like the ones that are nice to her.
Willie Wolf and Atwood?
And Angela Atwood, yeah. And so, they're like, so she's kind of getting sweet. And like so then they start having this thing where, the parents will come out on TV. Like
Hearst?
Of Hearst, and they'll be like doing this kind of sob story, and Patty Hearst will be like, "Hey, I've been taken by this, this group of."
She'll come out, she'll release a
tape, an audio tape.
Oh, wow!
And the SLA also like sent in one of her credit cards, being like, "Hey,
we don't want this shit."
No, we've got, but we've got her. Like,
oh yeah,
here's proof.
So would the parents be on TV, and then they would play the tape while the parents were on TV? So they would have to like reaction
to it
videos,
on TikTok.
Yeah.
No, it would be like they would come up make a statement because it was a huge case.
Sure.
And it was playing out for everybody, and like everybody was fucking kind of glued to it because.
What else was going on?
No, I mean there was obviously plenty else going on. But it was really fascinating. The more it plays out, but so her tapes, kind of begin to shift in tone.
Right. So let me stop you there because I want to know. They're releasing. They're showing their credit card as proof of life, or like it's better than sending in a toe with nail polish, right?
Yes.
What at this point are they demanding?
The first was the release of Ramiro and the other guy that
killed the superintendent,
and that shut the fuck down.
Right, that's like that's Reagan saying no, and then
but still,
then that's still the point right now. We're still there.
Well, yeah, and so it was basically like I think even though it was shut down as a gesture of goodwill, Randy Hearst appointed them expensive lawyers. Those two guys.
Oh,
so it was kind of like seeing
not nothing.
But then it was basically he DeFreeze goes, I want, basically like $70 worth of groceries for anybody in California that can prove that they like need it,
That's back then. That's,
that's a serious
amount
of
week's worth of groceries.
Yeah. And, so Hearst started, he was like, I will, do it. This is not like the Getty kidnapping,
right?
Where Getty was like, I'll give you 5.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't really like her anyways.
Yeah.
Also, Getty also, print. I mean, later the Gettys would be famous for,
but oil originally. Yeah.
Same thing with the Hearst.
Mm-hmm.
Prior too.
So they wanted to have basically like this free food program, and Hearst is like, fucking put it in motion, man.
Eat the fucking newspaper.
I think in that times money, the program was like $400 million, which is $2 billion today.
Right.
The food program
that the Hearsts instated.
Yes, that they put together, which
that's pretty nice.
No, that's very good.
It is absolutely crazy, and so that was the shit that Reagan really hated. It was like, do not negotiate with these people.
Right. At the same time touting the values of free enterprise and private business doing the charity that government should not do.
Exactly, right.
And also, the Panthers were doing free school lunches in Oakland.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, Reagan's going,
which is
I'm not feeding the kids.
Fuck them.
No, they don't deserve to eat.
So yeah. Apparently, Sink you was also.
You're welcome.
He was in prison for robbing a prostitute. It says.
Oh, that's
what?
just not nice.
I don't know. I thought it was the gunfight with police that got him, but
Well, maybe it's a little bit of A and B.
yeah. So
Because we B and A.
they also, this theatricality. One of the excesses of the murder of Foster, I didn't tell you about, was they dipped the bullets in cyanide,
Jesus.
which is just like
Just in case.
necessary. I doubt it.
It's
And
it's lamer than writing somebody's name on them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
They dipped it in spirit gum.
I read this in a failed
Almost-
script once.
Yeah. Here's the thing: they made the bullets out of ice,
so
so that they melt, and you can't do ballistics off a frozen bullet that doesn't exist.
And then they arrested Iceman.
So you know where Stockholm syndrome comes from.
Stockholm.
Yes,
It was determined during a bank robbery
correct.
by a psychologist who was on his own without any proof. Determined that the people who were being held at the bank by the robbers had joined the robbers' side because of
Made
the
a really
syndrome, as opposed to the fact that
The robbers
they
had a point.
They actually chose to be on his side because he had a point.
Right.
It is not a.
It's not a psychological phenomenon.
No.
Maybe in 1% of cases.
Right.
It's really the product of
Empathy.
and
High stress situations will also make you get there faster.
That's right. It's that may be a psychological survival tactic.
Yes.
Sure.
But the better your point, the more likely you are to succumb
Well,
to
yes,
Stockholm syndrome.
But there's a thing there where you go like, if you're sitting there and you're going like, oh, the bank robber doesn't want to be here either.
Right. He wants to be home.
Yeah, he doesn't want to. So then you kind of go like,
This bank robber wants to be paying for his boyfriend's sex change.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be having a dog day afternoon.
yeah. I'd rather be on the slopes in Oslo.
That's right. Skiing it up.
So,
That's Norway.
yeah, what did I say?
Oslo.
Yeah.
Sweden? Geneva Convention?
Oh, nice. So,
Good landing.
Oslo's cool too, I hear. Ask Nancy Kerrigan.
So so she's basically in the closet. She's getting a lot of knowledge dropped on her about
You think she's got that mattress?
people's struggles around the world. She's getting hip pretty quick to all the fights with indigenous peoples and feminist stuff.
The stuff where Paris Paper wouldn't.
How about her family's role in yellow journalism?
Sure. Yeah. So, but they kind of are going back and forth with this negotiation stuff. And like you said, the first was just shot down, but Hearst still appointed the lawyers. But then they did start this thing called the PIN program, People in Need. And when the initial delivery of food was a fiasco. And it started like before they even got to the center where it was announced like, hey, we're doing free food in Oakland. Like on the way there, the trucks were getting looted and people just throwing food out of them and stuff like that.
Well, these people are in need.
Reagan was caught on tape saying it's too bad there wasn't botulism in all the food.
I do. I don't remember that I wasn't alive, but I remember learning about that Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're eating free food.
Yeah.
They deserve to die from.
Well, how about this?
Keep going,
How
Nancy.
badly do they need the food if that's how desperate they are getting it?
Yeah.
Seriously.
All it means is they showed up early.
But then
I don't think it was looting. It means they were early.
As an actor, I would never eat free
But then
food.
they actually did streamline the program, and there was a way where the Hearsts were funding free food for people in need in Oakland, the poor areas around there and stuff. And so it is the one thing you can say about the SLA, because most of the other shit is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Where you go like, man, this is like, the Weather Underground, they got COINTELPRO, they broke Leary out of jail. Like, they did have legit successes. The one legit success was the SLA was responsible for putting a free food program that stayed in place at the expense of very wealthy people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is kind of fucking impressive, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's so successful, people are beating down the doors to get to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so, this is kind of happening, Donald DeFreeze is going back and forth, while before this saying like, oh, what you do, isn't good enough. And then when it was the first one being really botched, it was like, now you even made us look bad. Mm-hmm. So he's blaming Hearst even more, and he's going like, no, we're not going to release her. But it's also coinciding with the tapes from Patty Hearst. And she begins to take on this other tone, and she's saying things like, tell my mom to stop wearing black, I'm not dead, on TV. And so, it kind
Plus, she looks like shit.
kind of becomes, it's a little bit of the bratty rich girl thing, right?
Yeah.
And then she's, so she's mad at her mom, which I have no idea why. They are cooperating. The parents are fully cooperating.
Well, maybe they're asking her to be mad.
And there may have been a little bit.
She's also a 19-year-old girl.
She's a 19-year-old girl. She's not where she
important.
wants to be. And
Not Steve Weed's house.
yeah, I mean,
She's calling Steve Weed a pussy.
And he
Wow.
is.
She's calling Steve Weed a pussy, which is really funny to me. She's calling her mom a bitch when she talks to
It
Angela.
sounds like a regular 19-year-old girl.
Angela and Willie, and so Angela and Willie, and then I think she does one tape where she says that she's more scared of the FBI than the SLA.
I would be too.
And that's the beginning of the turn. And another part of that is Angela asks her if she ever gets horny.
Oh, this is where it gets good. Can we take a break so I can jerk off?
And we're going to take a break in just a second.
That was a joke.
No, but you can jerk off.
Okay.
But in here.
Yeah, I don't have we don't have to break for that?
No.
Okay, give me a second.
We have the tables for a reason.
Table! So,
Can we have a Symbian?
let's bring in the Symbian. Bring the symbiote.
Aaron, don't be a pussy. Sit on the Symbian.
Yeah. Don't be like Steve Weed. Steve Weed.
Steve.
Yeah. So she goes, I do get horny, and she goes,
That's not on tape.
she goes, well, which one of the fellas would you want to
Jesus.
get down with if you had a choice? And
Mr. Freeze.
And so she says, I would like it to be with Willie Wolf, and
Girls love
So
Wolf.
Angela goes back to the group, which keep on, the SLA is like a dozen at most. You know what I mean? It's like, and
Intimate.
but so this debate of can Patty Hearst fuck Willie Wolf is held within the SLA, and is it ethical?
And I hope there was not one no.
There was several no's. They were like, if it's a kidnapped person, dude, and they're feminists and shit, so they're going like, a couple of the lesbian feminists are going like, no,
She's got to eat our pussies first. What the fuck did we kidnap her for?
No, she's going like,
Yeah, dude.
They were saying
that at least one.
They were saying like the consent was questionable, and other people were being like, yeah, but like,
is there ever even such a thing as consent? We're all prisoners of the patriarchy.
no, they were saying
Technically.
The shadow is real.
Well, Willie and Angela also, were actually having their own Stockholm syndrome themselves. They're like, well, it's not her fault that she's rich. She's nice. Like she didn't do anything. She was,
It's not her fault. Her breasts are perky and supple. And
Yeah, and they're all, getting down with each other, so they're, trying to throw somebody else in the mix, I guess.
yeah, it gets boring after.
Yeah.
I mean, 12 people's nice and all, but after a few months,
But so, so then it's they. Her and Will, it's the rest of them are like, no, we sanction this. I think there's like 3 no votes, and so then they get it on,
and they don't get to have sex with her.
and she would say it was rape later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument.
Yes, there's definitely an argument. And
Especially if she said it.
Especially
if she said it was
I
rape.
think that's
pretty much the end of the argument.
yeah.
But is it?
Stop. But then he,
Willie Wolf.
Willie Wolf gives her the name Tania, and that is from Argentinian revolutionary compadre of
Eva
Che.
Oh.
Che was Argentinian. And
the doctor.
That's exactly right. So then basically she releases the Tania tape, which I think I should maybe play.
Yeah.
When we come back, this is the birth of Tanya. Patty Hearst is dead. Tanya lives. And
Now your mom can wear black.
Yeah.
yeah, and we will be right back.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
And we're back. So I mean I'm not finding the tape really quickly of that one, but I just wanted to take you through like her communiques. Day 9, captivity. Mom, Dad, I'm okay. I'm with a combat unit that's armed with automatic weapons. And these people aren't just a bunch of nuts. They've been really honest with me, but they're perfectly willing to die for what they're doing. And I want to get out of here, but the only way I'm going to is if we do it their way. And I just hope you'll do what they say, Dad, and just do it quickly. And I mean, I hope this puts you a little bit at ease and that you know I really, really am all right. I just hope I can get back to everybody really soon.
P.S. Mom looks like shit in that black dress.
Day 13, I am being held as a prisoner of war and not as anything else. I mean, I'm being treated in accordance with international codes of war. And so, I mean, Dad, you shouldn't listen or believe what anybody else says about the way I'm being treated. This is the way I'm being treated, and I'm not left alone. I'm not just shoved off somewhere. I mean, I am fine. Also, since I'm an example, and it's really important that everybody understand that, you know, I'm an example and a warning. And because of this, it's very important to the SLA that I return safely. And so people should stop acting like I'm dead. Mom should get rid of her black dress. That doesn't help at all. And just take care of Steve and just hurry. Bye.
I mean, everybody knows she doesn't look any skinnier in that dress.
Right.
So
Not slimming.
this is after you know the fiasco in Oakland. Day 34. Mom, Dad, I've been hearing reports about the food program. So far, it sounds like you and your advisors have managed to turn it into a real disaster.
Oh my God.
You said that it was out of your hands. What you should have said was that you wash your hands of it. It sounds like most of the food is low quality. No one received any beef or lamb. Anyway, it's certainly
Lamb?
Are you outraged about lamb?
Nobody received any lamb, oysters, or lobster. It was a fucking disgrace.
Not a single custard pie among them.
No creme brulee. Jesus Christ, Mom.
No lamb.
No lamb.
Or mint jelly, for Christ's sakes.
We're near the sea. There's supposed to be
The
oysters.
caviar has gone bad?
Anyway, it certainly didn't sound like the kind of food our family is used to eating. So you hear the tone, right?
Yeah.
Well, so the SLA has the perfect opportunity for a spokesperson who is also sensitive, like it's viewed sensitively and probably positively by the public because they're captive.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen to. I mean, Donald the Freeze isn't getting on the airwaves.
Right. Sinkyu. Sinkyu's not. He's not bringing all the people over.
Field Marshal.
Yeah. Field Marshal Sinkyu. No.
Field.
His name is not Field.
No.
It's Field Marshal. That's the title, Field Marshal.
Yeah.
No, I know.
But it would be funny if his name was Field, middle name Marshall, last name Sinkyu.
So day 59, right? So she said she was like in the closet for 56 or 57 days, right? So this is when she's getting out. This is probably around she gets down with Willie Wolf. You know, Angela's like, you get horny, whatever.
Why don't you come out of that closet?
You ever get horny?
So
There's some real lesbians here. Just get out of that.
day 59, that was Mom, Dad, tell the poor and oppressed people of this nation what the corporate state is about to do. Warn black and poor people that they are about to be murdered down to the last man, woman, and child. Tell the people that energy crisis is nothing more than a means to get public approval for a massive program to build nuclear power plants all over the nation. Tell the people that the entire corporate state is, with the aid of this massive power supply, about to totally automate the entire industrial state to the point that in the next 5 years, all that will be needed is a small class of button pushers. Tell the people, Dad, that the removal of expendable excess, the removal of unneeded people has already started. I have been given the choice of 1, being released in a safe area, or 2, joining the forces of the Symbionese Liberation Army and fighting for my freedom and the freedom of all oppressed people. I have chosen to stay and fight. I have been given the name Tania after a comrade who fought alongside Che in Bolivia. It is in the spirit of Tania that I say, Patria o muerte venceremos. You don't know what it means.
Patria o Muerte.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Venceremos.
is that one word?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is not an ideal.
Patriotism or death, and
I think it's.
we'll get vengeance.
I think it's basically Homeland or death.
Yeah.
is one I saw.
Or death, and then venceremos. We will get vengeance.
Yeah, it's like we swear vengeance.
Yeah.
Is what I think I saw.
I think it's like, I think some supermarkets have the same.
Yeah. It's like dos por un.
So
It's BOGO. That means that, like, in 5 years will be automated. That's
so funny.
it's very, very. There's a little bit of. I don't want to say it's very, very. There's a little bit of
you're gonna say
Unabomber in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
And there is just, the.
Are you gonna call it prescient?
No. I'm not even going to call it salient
Okay.
or cogent.
It's the spirit of the times.
There is also.
It sounds like
it's a very common conspiratorial fear that people have about the New World Order and progress is.
Oh yeah, I mean you hear
that
the
stuff.
possible the schizo leanings of Donald's in it. I mean, thank you.
Yeah, please. Donald was a normal guy.
Thank
Thank
you, schizo.
Donald DeFreeze is just a great name too. Field Marshal Sinkyu is pretty safe.
Nice to meet you.
But yeah, they all have those names, right? And
But I mean, what she is saying is not like, or what the propaganda she bought are very common fears that people have about progress.
mm-hmm.
It's just framed within that 70s framework of, and this particular one is very popular with what we consider now right leaning, which is the energy crisis is manufactured to get you to support nuclear energy. But now it's, climate change is a hoax perpetrated by, right? Like it's the same thing wrapped in a different package.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but how much of the energy crisis is a conspiratorial
None.
thing? Okay.
None.
But like the creation of it.
Back then?
Yeah.
None.
Okay.
And none now. It's not a conspiracy.
Right. Okay.
Wait, what are you saying is not a conspiracy?
The energy crisis or the, or climate change.
No, yeah.
Right. I'm not saying any of it is a conspiracy.
Hmm.
What are you getting at, Matt?
Well, I mean, because was the energy crisis a natural phenomenon, or was it something that was done?
But it wasn't to get people to buy into nuclear.
Right. No. Right. It was to raise the price of.
Well, and it was OPEC, and it was.
Oh
all
yeah.
sorts of shit.
It was. I mean, that
It was an emergent phenomenon, not a conspiracy. Other than unless you consider OPEC, But yeah, there's all sorts of reasons, but it wasn't just to get people.
Right.
The oil embargo stuff.
It wasn't the big nuclear.
It wasn't big nuclear.
No. It was just
Nuclear is tiny by definition.
It's
very small.
It's an ironic. It's an
Hardly
ironic group.
It is. Oh well, it's actually uranium.
So
It's
now,
not iron.
so now,
That's a periodic table of elements joke.
Yes. Now I get it.
So with the statements and stuff, Field Marshal Sinkyu is very pleased, and
Pleased indeed.
he obviously views this as a major propaganda win,
I see this as
Which-
an absolute win.
which it was. I mean,
Yeah, if you have, a sliver of a point and a captive audience who's 19 and impressionable and at Berkeley
right,
and who has a little bit of white guilt,
right.
and you have somebody throwing
And she
this
was,
at
and,
you?
and the thing is too is that she was kind of looking headlong down the barrel of,
some automatic weapons.
well, ironically, a life of being another rich lady
Right.
and having a pussy husband like Stephen Weed. You know what I mean? And And so now it's a thing where it's like, okay, she was the rebellious one. She was a little precocious and stuff like that. And, she's probably had some exposure, to all these things. And,
Sure.
And the Times would make you, just being in the Times would radicalize you. And then it's like, suddenly, like, being a kidnapped person very quickly, I think, can transfer to, I have a new group of friends and we all fuck and do fucking exciting shit every day. Yeah. And it's kind of like, let's go. Yeah. And so she got into that very quickly and she burst onto the scene as Tanya at the Hibernia bank robbery in San Francisco.
The what bank robbery?
Hibernia?
Hibernia.
Yes.
Interesting. Never heard the name.
Ancient Order of Hibernians is who puts on the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Of course.
Now there's a conspiracy for you.
Yeah. Let's
Big Irish.
Malice.
Yeah. So that was in San Francisco. 2 people were shot, not killed. 10 a.m. They including Tanya holding a rifle.
Yep.
M1 carbine.
Solid.
And they got like 10 grand. And they say like on the footage that you can see like she when
Her
they're
hair was perfect.
When they're yeah. I think she's like fucking got like a beret and shit.
Yeah.
She does look cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
berets?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she looks cool.
Berets are simultaneously the lamest thing
And the coolest thing.
and the coolest
Well, it depends
thing.
on what
Just
you're doing
depending-
with
Like,
it,
if you got
yeah.
fatigues on,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you're robbing a bank, that's a good look.
Yeah, if you're making a coffee, say it.
Yeah, if you're
bro.
if you're
If
a mime,
you're drinking your own pee, that's cool.
Oh, dude, you
out of the hat,
dude, you
yeah.
be wearing a fedora drinking your own pee. It's fine.
And
You can be wearing one of those construction helmets
with the cans,
with cans
on.
of
Yeah,
piss,
yeah.
drinking your own
That's
piss,
how you really should
and
do
you
it.
still look cool.
Yeah.
Because you're drinking your own pee.
Yep.
You have your shadows integrated.
Yep. I got another straw that goes from my dick
Right,
Catheter?
yeah,
to the
yeah,
can.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Never stops.
Uh,
That's
PTM.
perpetual
PTM.
motion machine.
It's very good. So that you got to imagine you've seen the evolution of statements by the parents, the police, Tanya's release of her tapes, and then suddenly it's like, nah, I'm in. After 2 months of this fucking major story, and then you see on the camera footage, she's there. Her magazine falls out on the way out, and
Because of Hearst publication.
2 bullets fall out of it. She pops them back in the magazine.
Hell yeah.
Pops it back in the rifle, and then it's like
She knew what she was doing.
yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Other than the magazine falling.
Because they, I mean, like
Whoops.
they also trained with weapons a lot and stuff. And so they So like they kind of knew still, even with the propaganda win, that the Foster assassination really fucked them in the Bay Area. So they're like,
Yeah, dude, you killed a fucking teacher, basically.
You killed a guy.
Not only that, one that political allies of yours
You would have
viewed sympathetically or even like admired.
Yeah.
Like this was just not the
who might have been on your side.
Yeah.
It's
fucking amateurs.
It's an own goal for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a real own goal.
So Sinkyu is like, you know what we should do? Let's go to LA.
These people are idiots.
He goes, I got friends maybe.
I got friends. No, I'm more of a friend with Donald. I don't know you, Field Marshal.
Yeah, so they basically, when here's the thing. When you show up to like a house in Inglewood with like a gang of white armed people and a famous kidnapped like person,
right.
You better be a cop.
it's like a lot to take on as a host.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say.
Yeah. So people were like, they got alienated pretty quickly.
Oh, really? You don't
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
By the field marshal and his non-gang
Friends. What?
Hi, we're a traveling troupe of actors. We've just come from a production of the Motorcycle Diaries, and we're wondering if we could perchance sleep to dream on your couch.
I mean, the first part alone would stop everybody from letting them in.
The fuck?
And then they're like, oh, also, we have slightly more baggage.
Oh my God, the baggage is
trained
the baggage is literally just a gang of weapons, and like,
Smell like shit.
dude, yeah. Okay, so here's a real fun one, right? So they go to LA, and they have a like there's some kind of safe house they've set up, and they go to Mills Sporting Goods in Inglewood, and It's Emily and William Hearst, the couple, and outside reading the paper in the van behind the wheel is Tania. Every opportunity to get away,
Hearst publication.
just chilling, waiting for this to go down.
Loving life. She's never been to L.A.
My mom, she's wearing that fucking dress again.
Jesus
How many
Christ.
times do I have
William
to fucking tell her?
decides to shoplift.
So what were they going to the sporting goods store for?
I
Wasn't to rob it.
I've heard it was for bullets.
Oh, that makes sense.
And
Some sort of weaponry or related.
and so his wife I was making
jock straps.
Boxing
was
gloves,
making
yeah.
his wife. I don't know if they're married. Some kind of purchase.
Jockstrap, grenade holder type thing.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about jock straps is they work great
Yeah.
as a ball grenade
Yeah.
holster.
Let's work on ball grenades.
Yeah.
So the guy at the store is like kind of a cowboy. And like the manager of the sporting goods store. He's kind of a cowboy.
Moseying around.
And so he
Pulls a crossbow from under the counter.
It's just a security guard actually. So he confronts William for shoplifting. William takes out his gun, and the guard knocks the gun out of his hand and pulls out a pair of handcuffs and puts a fucking cuff on William's wrist. And
I'm the daddy now, right?
yeah, I'm the daddy. I know it's becoming just a classic SLA shit show.
Yeah.
And
That's what they're known for, really.
Actors.
Yeah.
They didn't rehearse.
No.
You know what they should have been? An improv troupe.
yeah, well, here's some improv.
Let me guess. Is it like real improv where it sucks?
This is a big fucking moment, dude.
All right.
Like if I was her, I'd be still kind of jilling off about it. But so she sees this couple happening with the security guard and William.
Patty died.
Tanya.
From outside.
Yeah, Patty Hearst. And so she comes out, she's got her M1 carbine, and she lights up the whole fucking store, dude. She just but mainly overhead, but like the store's full of people. This is like a Los Angeles like street in the middle of day. Like Tanya's going for it in the van with like like I said, everybody like availability to run.
Yeah, she could have left.
Yes.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
she's fucking
She's been
Tanya.
radicalized.
Yeah. And so she let
Patty's dead, dude.
Yeah, Patty's dead. Long live Tanya. And so William goes, and with like it looks like they're fucking done for. And then Tanya saves the day. And they come back to the van.
Was she murk the security guard, or they just chop off the?
No, everybody just fucking hit the deck because now it was getting lit up with machine gun
But
fire.
homeboy is still chained to the security guard.
No.
Just
He
put one
put
on.
one cup on his
Oh,
wrist.
it was before he could lock it onto. Oh, got it.
So they bail out of there. They've got to fucking get rid of this.
Get the Cliff Bars.
Gotta get rid of this thing. So that they're fucking they ditch the van. They carjack another car.
They love carjacking.
No,
They do.
Their favorite.
They do. And that makes it like 2 blocks and breaks down.
Oh, that's good. That's so
These,
good.
like,
70s, man.
cars, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus, no gas.
Just-
It's just the guy they took it from is like, good luck.
Yeah. Thank you. They carjacked a Ford Pinto. They backed into a parking meter and blew up.
Well, so now what happened here was bad was they abandoned the van, and then they saw a parking ticket. The cops found a parking ticket, and it gave them the address of the safe house, basically.
Because the van got a ticket, and then they drove away.
And then it was abandoned.
What a fucking joke.
Brilliant. Just brilliant. Leave it in the van.
And
Dude.
so
Because the ticket says the make, model,
Yeah.
license plate, and you can find out the address of the registered holder.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a fucking comedy of errors.
They're actors.
They are.
They didn't think that there was a database.
You know, when they robbed the store, they wore those masks that are the smiling.
Yeah.
saga.
Oh, they had the Phantom of the Opera
Yeah,
mask.
the Commedia
Yeah.
dell'arte bullshit. Fucking actors.
I say they're bad actors, Aaron.
I would say they're bad actors too.
So the SLA could see that this shit happened. The rest of the group that's not with them, so they abandon the safe house and they go.
You mean it's a rando's house that they're staying in? And
Yeah. But so they go to another one. Which it's these 2 women, and then there was
Still in Inglewood, or
it's all around South Central and stuff, and so they go to this house, and one of the people sleeping on the couch is this girl Brenda Daniels, and she goes, I went down to Minnie's every Thursday evening to play some cards and drink a little. I fell asleep early, and when I woke up around 2 a.m., I saw 4 white women and 3 dudes, 2 blacks, 1 white, and I saw guns spread out all over the floor. They're just like showing it like
she's a heavy
like
sleeper.
this is like a neighbor.
no? She was playing cards.
This is
She
like
came
a-
home.
Oh, she
to-
came home.
This is like a neighbor that just like hangs out
The
there.
fuck is this?
And it's a thing where like they just had no down low whatsoever.
No.
And she goes, and I asked them why they had guns more than I'd ever seen in my life. They didn't answer. They didn't answer. Instead, the black dude asked me my name and introduced me to everybody. And so then they ask her, "Was Patty Hearst there?" And she goes, "Man, how can I tell? All white women look the same."
Nice.
Incredible, dude. So
Brilliant.
yeah, it's basically like these 2 women live there, whatever. And so the Harrises and Patty are like, okay, we just can't go back to that house. And so, but they have a thing where it's carjacking, and then they see something where there's this dude who might be my favorite person in the entire story.
Ooh.
And he's he just like plays baseball, and he's like kind of like a SoCal dude,
Dude, that
and,
rules.
And he's
That's fucking tight.
he's got a van for sale.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, everybody's got a van.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a van for sale, and this guy's real fucking cool, man.
Is he chill?
Yeah, he's real
I bet
chill.
he's dope,
Nice,
too.
dude. Yeah, he's sweet.
And they're like, hey, we saw that you got a van for sale. Can we take it for a test drive? And he goes, yeah, you can take it for a test drive, but like, I gotta come with you,
Yeah.
And
You might like steal it or something.
well,
Yeah.
like just like
You can bring your friends, though. They seem chill.
kind of like you can't really like trust people all the time and stuff,
I like your
So-
barrettes.
So they get in,
Plus your beret.
they get into the van, and like the gun is like pulled on him like immediately, and
Fuck.
and he's like, yeah, it's like fuck, and
Just gone, dude.
Cash only, dude.
and so
Ass, gas, or grass.
and he goes, oh dude, like I'll do anything you say, just don't shoot me. And then he's like, but like I also got to get back for like a baseball game. Seriously.
Dude, that's nice.
Yeah, he loves playing
He goes,
baseball.
so he's like, I gotta get back for my baseball game.
Can you drop me off?
So then, like, yeah, they go around and they're working out some way to, like, get this fucking handcuff off Bill, right? And
He still got these idiots.
yeah, and so
With throwing arms. Chill out.
and so
No,
Bill,
no, not the chill dude. The guy who robbed the.
Fuck, I got tendonitis in my shoulder, dude. I got Tommy John last week. My elbow hurts.
Yeah. So like they're like, hey, you know, like with SLA, they're like, this is Tanya, and like that, like, and he looks and he goes, holy shit, dude. Yeah, he's super fucking pumped. And then so they get like that, and they get him back for his baseball game.
They all high five. And he hits a home run. And
when they got the handcuffs,
you guys aren't gonna believe this.
When they got the handcuffs off him, he asked if he could keep it. Like he wanted a souvenir.
Oh, that's awesome.
This dude loved being kidnapped, and which is also what Patty Hearst loves, which is so great.
It's the most white people shit.
It's the true crime of the day.
It's a lot of white people who do get kidnapped.
Yeah,
but it is the most like, what a boring dystopia. You know, it's the most. You know, in South America, getting kidnapped is not fun.
No. It doesn't seem good.
But man, getting kidnapped in California in the 70s sounds like a blast.
Oh, whoa.
Dude, I can't. Wow, you guys are awesome.
Dude, I'm tripping. You guys are...
So yeah, like basically like the rest of the group, they had a thing where they were like, and so then, you know, they take the van, and I think Emily Harris was like, we need to get the fuck out of town. Let's go to Anaheim. I used to work at Disneyland. She goes, motels are cheap there.
I used to work at Disneyland. Let's go to Anaheim. No way there's tons of people there.
Well, no, they check into a motel, whatever.
Yeah, dude, you blend in.
Yeah.
But there's the rest of the crew, which is like 6 members of the SLA, including Donald DeFreeze. They are like, okay, we got to abandon the safe house. So then they go to this house, and they're like basically saying to the lady, they're like, and like, you know, she's got like fucking kids and shit. They're like, hey, can we stay here? We'll give you $100. And then
Disney bucks.
No. This isn't Inglewood stuff, or Compton actually.
Okay.
And so they but then they start loading in all their guns and shit.
Yeah.
Making Molotov cocktails. Like, just, you know, not neighborly stuff.
Yeah, Molotov cocktails might be the least neighborly beverage you can make.
And so the one woman that lived there was, she gets really fucking hammered, right? And
well, I guess someone had to drink.
The neighbor?
No. Another one.
Another one of the SLA?
Another one of the women that owned that was like a resident of the house.
In order to
3
make
women.
Well, Molotov cocktails are pretty strong.
So
yeah, and you got to get rid of some of the booze in your mouth.
But you know, it's white people in Compton with heavy artillery, and so like the neighbors were even like, "Hey, it looks like the SLA's at your house, huh?"
Yeah. Who else would it be?
Yes,
right.
And you know, fucking. And so like neighbors like dropping by, like kind of like like.
Oh, that's great,
dude.
That's great.
Kind of a free show.
It is out. So the cops, you know, get wind. And they descend on the scene, and there's this huge fucking firefight
in the house with the kids and the.
There goes the neighborhood.
I think they're out of there, and then the one resident that's still there is she's completely hammered, and she
more power to her.
And she wakes up. She's so hammered she sleeps through the firefight.
That's brilliant.
With tear gas grenades in the house. She only wakes up when her actual own bed is on fire.
Oh my god!
And she walks out, and the cops are like, "Get over here, you
How
idiot!"
can you sleep while your beds are burning?
Is she?
Yeah, dude. A firefight, like machine guns.
She's like
6 members of the SLA versus the LAPD snoozing surrounded.
What?
But you know, when she first woke up, she was like, "Man, we had a hell of a party last night."
Yeah.
Jesus.
You're hotboxing the whole fucking block?
And so it's, you know, it catches on fire. You know, I'm sure the Molotov cocktails didn't help having all those good things around.
Yeah. All these actors, they can't throw.
But they just
That is a joke that really is very close to my heart. You know, because not every actor is Kevin Costner.
No, he played baseball at USC.
Or Charlie Sheen. Mm-hmm. You know, all the other actors look like, I don't know, they got cerebral palsy.
They had the CG that Kevin Costner throw in Field of Dreams.
No, it's when
No. Kevin Costner knows how to throw.
he played it-
Charlie
he
Sheen
played at
knows how to
USC.
throw. Everyone else looks like it's the
Yeah.
first time they've ever
Yeah.
like loaded a dishwasher.
Yeah, and you're like that's classic 1915 baseball.
Man.
But these guys can't throw.
That
Must be
is
1918,
nice,
but-
Matt.
Very
That's
good.
a good one.
It's just reality of the situation. We were in a comedy softball league. Fucking 99% of those people couldn't throw.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I was one of them.
I bet they knew how to catch. Huh? Balls.
Yeah.
You know,
And strike.
they said the coroner, because all 6 SLA members burned to death.
Jesus.
Yeah. And it's on live TV. The firefight, the fire, everything. So,
Oh my God.
Patty Hearst and the Harrises are watching it live in their Disneyland motel room.
Oh God.
And everybody was watching this. So also the Hearsts are thinking
Patty's in
Patty's in
Yeah,
there.
right.
And I mean, the country was thinking it.
it. Right.
And so then the coroner identifies them as this person, not Patty Hearst. But he also said, he goes like,
The corner?
yes. He goes like, I've never seen anyone withstand fire like by just like not running from it. Like they all just stayed and fought
right.
and didn't care. They were like,
Burning alive.
yeah, like they're like it's human instinct to just be like fire, go,
fire.
bye.
Right.
Bad.
Yeah, fire bad. And he was like, I don't know how like they could psychologically
I'll tell you why. Acting.
Yeah, they're waiting for the guy with the fire extinguisher to show up.
It's all smoke and mirrors here, folks.
This is fine. But yeah, like that. So that was then. I mean, pretty much the end of the group, right? Like now they've got.
The SLA broke up?
Well, they've
Like the Beatles?
they've significantly dwindled. Significantly.
It's a Jackson 2.
Yeah, it's sort of a 3-piece at this point. Now, was the field marshal among them?
Oh yes, he was. Yeah.
Nice.
More like an ash marshal now, I guess.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I'm an ass marshal myself.
Yeah, I guess you are.
But yeah, the tape that Patty released after that
A
was,
little more solemn.
oh my God, like such a eulogy.
It's the hottest mixtape of the summer.
Yeah, she's dropping a new tape.
Yeah, it's hot.
So this is now day 104.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Doesn't feel like a long time, but I guess it.
Wait,
Dude, it's-
when the days are that exciting?
Yeah.
And when it's the 70s?
Yeah. I mean, it's a third of a year, I guess.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
True.
She says,
Lots.
she releases the tape, Greetings to the People. This is Tania.
And then that's the name of the band.
I want to talk about the way our 6 murder comrades, because this fascist pig media have, of course, been painting a typically distorted picture of these beautiful sisters and brothers. Sinkyu was in a race with time, believing that every minute must be another step forward in the fight to save the children. Galena was beautiful. She taught me how to fight the enemy within through her constant struggle with bourgeois conditioning. Gabby crouched low with her ass to the ground. She practiced until her shotgun was an extension of her right and left arms.
Yeah, she could twerk so good.
Zoya, female gorilla, perfect love and perfect hate reflected in stone cold eyes.
Wow.
Fahiza taught me to shoot first and make sure the pig is dead before splitting. She was wise and bad. Cujo was the gentlest and most beautiful man I've ever known.
Cujo?
That's Willie Wolf.
He already had a cool name.
Hello,
He
Cujo.
taught me the truth as I've learned it from the beautiful brothers in California's concentration camps. Neither Cujo or I ever had loved an individual the way we loved each other.
Jesus.
Our relationship's foundation was our commitment to the struggle and our love for the people.
P.S. He raped me.
Well, you should say that.
Well, no, she's not saying that at all. She's saying he was the most gentle soul she ever
Later.
met.
And then
yeah,
later,
later.
P.S. He raped me.
She says, I died in that fire on 54th Street, but out of the ashes I was reborn. I know what I have to do.
My name is Phoenix.
So,
I will join the X-Men.
it sounds like she's going to, up the ante
Right.
significantly, which is harder to do.
It's hard to beat dying in a firefight in a fire.
In a fire, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably you created by dropping a bottle on your foot.
Yeah, whoops.
Do one of those throws where it falls out of your hand and it just goes straight up.
Where's the key grip?
Where's the key grip on this bottle?
So they just kind of like hit the road, and
Cool.
they at large for 18 months. Jesus,
Holy shit, that's amazing.
it is. But you know they would have to steal and stuff, and you know just kind of like run around and you know hopefully find you know some kind of friends or whatever that would take them in. And so they had one friend that was her trajectory was kind of just incredible too, because she joined later. She joined the SLA when they were like kind of fucking finished.
Like one of Patty's friends?
No, it was a
Or
friend of the
Tanya?
Harrises.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's the Harrises and Patty, you know, basically.
Hey, you guys really know Patty Hearst? Oh. You have room for one more? Of course you do. 6 of you just burn to death. Of course you have an open spot.
So they they're still kind of, you know, trying to be like, you know, an active service unit, you know, and like do some
Full-time
jobs.
serviceman?
But basically it's more like we need to like rob a bank.
Yeah, we don't have any money.
To really stick it to the man, we have to rob
Yeah.
his local bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
Preferably if it has an Irish name.
she helped make bombs and like you know the IEDs and stuff, and there was 2 failed attempts to kill police officers in 1975, and then the robbery in Carmichael, California, that resulted in the death of Myrna Opsahl. Who was just like a doctor's wife that I think it was like actually at the bank like depositing church money.
Oh,
So everybody was really pissed about that again. She was shot by Emily Harris. She just made like a sudden move or something. And
So
I heard the spirit moved her.
so
little jumpy.
they were arrested in an apartment. They got some kind of a tip, and they went after the Harrises, and they found them and arrested them, but they were still looking for other members. So there's Wendy Yoshimura, another SLA member,
Japanese,
and Patty were in another apartment that the FBI just happened to like look into just in case, that was like neighboring.
Oh, good. They didn't.
are they? Is it LA?
This is San Francisco again.
Got it. Okay.
And apparently one of the FBI guys said they were at the kitchen table, and the FBI guys burst in, and Yoshimura was just like hands on the table, freezing immediately. But fucking Tanya books it for the other room where the rifles are.
Oh shit. She's no Steve Weed.
But she also pissed herself. Oh yeah, I knew you'd enjoy that too.
Who, Yoshimura or Patty?
Patty did.
Yeah,
but
either way, it's
but
cool.
yeah, the FBI guy was like, "Yo, check." Like years later, he was like, "Yo, check this out, dude." He goes, "Wendy Yoshimura was like, oh, that's it, we're over."
Yep.
He goes, "Fucking Patty Hearst was like going to the room with the shotgun and the M1 carbine."
Yeah.
And so she went to jail, listed her profession as urban guerrilla.
Nice.
Said, "Tell everybody that I'm smiling, that I feel free and strong, and send my greetings and love to all the sisters and brothers out there." Wow. So now you got yourself a trial coming up, right? And,
And we wanted to rescue you.
yeah.
You became a piece of shit. Now,
But she was
and the Hearst love a
But
trial.
she was also highly like emaciated, and she was 87 pounds.
Yikes.
she probably loved it.
They said that they test psychologists tested her IQ, which she got as like a 112, whereas it used to be 130.
She's still above average.
Yeah.
Average is 100.
Yeah, she seemed to have gaps in her life, pre-Tanya, but
Oh, like memory wise?
yeah,
And she was emaciated. She was 87 pounds. So
smoking a lot, nightmares.
right.
But also like
did they do any drug tests?
they did say she seemed to be drugged, but drugs didn't really come up to her. But like even in the trial where they put her on the stand for some ungodly reason, terrible fucking idea.
By who? The state? or by her defense attorney?
I'm.
That question matters.
That is a good question. Yes. No.
I imagine the state.
Because the state can call her.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
She has to go up.
I imagine her defense attorney, unless retarded, wouldn't.
Right, but can't you also refuse the right to be called? No. When it's your own trial.
Not if the state calls you as you can just plead the fifth.
Yeah, she did 42 times.
Okay, there you
42 times.
Good for her, I guess, but it's a smart move.
But even then, she seemed dulled and stuff like that. And this is also, the trial is for the Hibernia bank robbery, the San Francisco
Not
one.
for anything else.
No, this is the big one.
Well, they have her on tape.
The main one, so this particular trial that you're speaking of
Yes.
is for the Hibernia bank robbery.
Yeah, the one of like shooting up, I guess shooting up a sporting goods store in Inglewood isn't a crime.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
Big Sporting Goods doesn't have that kind of money for lawyers.
But with this many things,
It's really a trial for everything in the court of public
right.
opinion.
But also the district attorney, whoever, is going to go. Well, we have
What's
one
best-
case where we can absolutely
nail her, right?
So she had an attorney that wasn't buying the brainwashing thing as a strategy, and then she got F. Lee Bailey.
Oh, F. Lee Bailey, shit.
Yeah, it's the Hearsts, man.
Yeah.
You know,
F. Lee Bailey famously, OJ?
OJ for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the Manson trial too, or something. I don't know. I think so.
Damn.
Yeah, but I mean, huge.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
So
Sorry, I just last time I want to bring this up. The only reason I asked for drugs is not brainwashing drugs, but I mean, like, was she doing speed, or the emaciation, was that stress and psychological distress?
I think the paranoia of Donald DeFreeze spread to the rest of the SLA, and then their actions pushed them into further paranoia. And then when you watch live on TV that a house you would be at gets fucking like torpedoed basically, and all your friends burned to death,
The submarine.
while you're outside fucking Disneyland,
right.
and then you got to hit the road, and like the pressure just keeps cooking, and and then like they were starting to fray even from each other.
Plus, they don't have any money.
Yeah. And so they got with this woman, Solita, and she was like an old friend of Emily Harris's. And she kind of takes on the leadership role. Not these fucking like battle-tested veterans.
Right.
The new recruit ends up becoming the leader. And then she's the one that, do you remember this? Like years later, they found that she was just like peacefully living as a housewife in Connecticut, and they're like, "Hey, you did fucking car bombings in '75," and like she was like somehow like escaped, you know, the whole thing. She didn't get caught with the rest of them, and she just became a suburban mom, had kids. Her daughter was on like American Idol.
Oh my god!
I swear to God. And then they were like, it was found out like, "Hey, you're that fucking lady that took on this other name."
Holy shit!
It's kind of like how Ted Cruz's dad was the Zodiac.
Like not long ago.
Killed
Like this story came out that like, hey, we just found like somebody from somebody from the SLA, and it was really funny because like they interviewed her kids, who just had like this regular fucking upbringing in Connecticut, maybe even kind of posh, and they were like, "Yeah, I don't know, it was the '70s." They like totally defended her, like,
yeah,
you know.
What do you want, man?
Yeah, it was a wild time.
But so you know, so she was in kind of bad shape, and then she started, you know, taking this defense of the brainwashing, saying it was rape. But then the Harrises are in jail, and they're like, "Yo, dude!" Like, they're like, "Ask her about that little monkey sculpture in her pocket." It was like a little thing that Willie had given her, and that came up in the trial because like one of the women jurors was like, "Nobody would keep a trinket from their rapist."
Right.
You know, they were like, I just didn't believe it. And
Other than a baby.
I mean, but who's to say nobody would?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good strategy.
A 19-year-old. Who's to say she wouldn't?
Also,
but they're like, they've seen her like go from being like urban gorilla to now being like,
these are the sweetest people I've met.
I was like,
sure,
all this stuff,
sure.
and so
yes,
and they're mad. And in jail, like somebody put like a dead rat on her pillow, so she realized like in jail she's kind of like
pariah.
possibly under threat. And so, she got just like.
Plus, they got Roland, the headless Thompson gunner, coming after.
What?
Patty Hearst heard the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Thompson gun and body.
Well, you got to explain that joke.
Well, I did the first when you brought up the whole.
I thought the lyric was bought it.
Nope.
It's body?
It's Roland's Thompson gun and body because he's headless.
Well, I guess I bought it as in like ate it, as in died.
No, he keeps killing people with his gun.
Right, that's
There's
what I
no
mean.
money
He killed
involved.
her.
This is the worst derailed part.
No, we'll talk
It's
about it.
Roland's Thompson gun and his body.
No, I know.
Because there's no head.
I understand. I understand.
You're the one who introduced me to Warren.
I know.
Zevon.
I understand why.
His hair couldn't be perfect because he had no head.
I understand why
Good point.
you
Thank you.
believe that.
I believe it because it's the truth.
All right, let me take one real quick break. Then we're gonna do a short wrap up of this.
Fine, we'll look up the lyric.
Yeah. No, this is what the episode's about.
Yeah, great job. And we're back.
It's funny you mentioned that, John.
That we're back?
Yeah.
Funny. You should say that.
Now it's 10 years later, but he still keeps up the fight. In Ireland, in Lebanon, in Palestine, and Berkeley. Patty Hearst heard the burst of Roland's Thompson gun and bought it.
Heard the burst.
Yeah, I always thought it was the worst, too, but it is
And then
burst.
she bought it. Now,
Because she died.
or is she rich and she bought it?
Oh, maybe.
Or did she buy
okay,
it?
okay, there you go.
Or is she buying it?
Right? Is she
Like
buying
is
it?
she buying in?
Is she buying into it, or
Right,
or is it a euphemism for death? Buying the farm.
Right. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll have to get Warren on the show.
Yeah.
If we could, Matt,
Uh-huh.
thank you for looking that up.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for elucidating me upon of the truth of the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't know what it means at all, but I thank you for that. And I'm going to tell you that it takes a big man
Big boy.
to admit.
to admit he's right. The trial commences. There's a judge that is, keep in mind, this is for the San Francisco bank robbery. He's like making everything admissible. All of
Inadmissible?
admissible.
Her lawyer.
No,
the
the judge.
The judge is saying it's all fair game.
He goes. I mean, conversations she had in jail.
Huh?
All of the statements, things after the crime. He was just not. He was not a fan. So it was quite stacked against her, and one of the people that was going to the trial was John Waters.
Flamingos.
What?
John
Flamingos.
Waters is like, I gotta see what kind of a freak she is.
This is going to be a
I'll
good
take
time.
any chance for a promotion I can get.
They became friends. He put her in 4 movies.
Jesus,
Holy
fucking
shit.
Christ.
Serial Mom, fucking like
Oh my
Crybaby, dude.
God.
Patty Hearst is in 4 John Waters movies.
Patty
That's
Hearst know
amazing.
Johnny Depp?
Which you must have, right?
Oh my god.
And
Mustache.
yeah. Maybe I should ask Patty Hearst if she can get that guitar.
Dude.
Let's start there.
Honestly, she probably has it.
To be completely honest, it is one of the weirdest things. Yeah, they met like during the trial. John Waters.
Dude, she probably knows Tracy Lords.
Yeah, probably.
fuck.
I mean, how John Waters, like he just
absolutely.
misfits, cripples and broken things,
And bastards.
yeah. And so the trial's going on, and she pleads the fifth. F. Lee Bailey, it was like he ends it by going like, "Listen, we all know that Patty Hearst was not on a trajectory to become a bank robber."
Okay.
You know what I mean?
She's comes from a family of robber barons.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Yeah. Simple folk. Yeah.
People of the land they stole.
Conquistadors. Yeah.
People who salt the earth.
It's honestly, Aaron, it is a good point. You know what I mean? Fucking.
I mean, it's a good defense attorney point. It's fucking bullshit, but it's a good defense attorney
It's
point.
a good defense attorney point, but then also if you, with hindsight of
High tide being 2020.
what we know about fame and the children of rich people,
Sure.
now, 50, 60 years later,
And
that kind of upbringing can lead to this just being a total piece of shit.
Absolutely.
but the thing is,
But back then,
but the idea is, the thing from Bronn in Game of Thrones. He goes like, anybody that started a house that's now a noble house was a savage.
That's right.
So I was saying, like, she's going kind of back to her family's
Yeah, she's
roots.
getting back to her roots. Yeah,
by
exactly.
becoming Tanya.
This
you know?
can't be roots.
So, but now she's had the thing where she goes like, okay, well, I've had my fun, I guess. Party's over, and also at the end it wasn't that fun.
Yeah, on the run.
Yeah, she
The food in jail is like the food my fucking dad would throw out of the truck, and
So here's a crazy thing is there's like a thing where like she gets the maximum sentence for armed robbery, which is 35 years in prison, and then it's like, but there's a later sentencing thing where we're actually gonna figure it out. But after that, before the later sentencing, Effley Bailey like sends her a message in jail being like, hey, can you not do a book in the next 18 months? Because I've got one coming out.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ,
God.
what
Yeah,
a
dude.
fucking asshole.
Yeah. After you also just got sentenced to 35 years.
Yeah.
And now this is the communique, which also, like, ethically, like, what?
Yeah, that means you do one in 12.
yeah, hurry up.
Yeah.
She would ultimately do one in 1982, a long time later. And talking about her experiences, like, prosecutors were like, oh, we didn't even know you guys did this stuff. Like, we should have new charges. The statute of limitations has not run out.
Oh, boy.
And I think they just were like, fuck it.
Fuck it. Poor girl's had enough, hasn't she?
But
I mean, she hasn't even got to taking a liking to birds yet.
so yeah, the narrative, that was still in her memoir, which is like called like All the Secret Things or something like that. And in the trial was one of brainwashing and
Which doesn't exist.
Well, brainwashing, mate.
there was one guy. I wouldn't say it exists. No,
No, it was a term invented in the Cold War by American propagandists.
Oh, and also, but one we hoped would exist.
Yeah,
we
hoped it existed. We hoped it existed. We didn't want people. We didn't want to believe that people might actually be convinced of the benefits of collectivist.
Yes,
society.
right.
Oh
right,
yeah,
right.
And the bottom line, taking their brains because you're like, well, they almost have the same disease.
Right.
But there was one guy who, was kind of like a specialist at the time from Yale, and she did extensive interviews with psychologists during the time. And there's one guy from Yale was like, oh, she's got all of the, the hallmarks of the Stockholm Syndrome type thing. And basically his testimony was that she was doing everything to survive. And other psychologists, when they listen to the tapes, go, I don't think anybody could be acting this and not believe what they're saying.
Right.
So it was very, very, very conflicting.
I mean, these actors weren't that good.
Right. Because they would be employed.
Yeah. But Patty Hearst, of course, was like the one that had to do the most of it.
Right.
You know?
There's what's the difference between being brainwashed and convinced? That's just a subjective judgment placed upon the outside part that the outside party makes.
Yeah, someone else.
Oh, you've been brainwashed into thinking that food stamps are good. Well, no, maybe they just got convinced.
Right. Of course,
Brainwashing is a pejorative term for whatever whatever the orthodoxy deems as undesirable.
Right.
That's.
But also, like, as a 19-year-old with a bunch of other, like, college kid type, like, age people, it's like, this was...
Indoctrinated might be a better word.
This was, I think most of it, like, for her, it was like, this was fun until it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then I kind of get away with it.
Yeah. Such a white girl thing.
I mean, it's
yeah, I used to have my days when I was like all party girl, but now like I married the nice guy from high school.
But there was a thing where like the Harrises were like once they saw that show at the fucking sports like goods store, they were like, "Yo, dude,
She's more
we had
hardcore than
we had no idea what a freak."
Right.
Like we happened, luckily, to abduct
Yeah.
the most like ready for
Right.
revolution
Yeah, yeah.
motherfucker of all time.
Down.
Yeah, they were like, even like I think like Donald DeFreeze was like,
Jesus.
"Holy shit! Like you're crazier
She's
than
a
all of
natural.
us." Yeah.
She
It
just
wasn't
hates
like she
sports.
probably would have been like leading it if it
Right.
went, if they didn't fucking fuck up like idiots. And so yeah, the trial was like fucking a huge thing, and then like it was the new narrative came out, and also like you gotta imagine in the ensuing time, especially the 18 months on the run, people have had a lot of time to make up their mind about this. And so there was this thing of like, oh, it's a rich girl, doing stuff, and then other people were like, oh no, like on the left would be like, oh, this is like a rich girl that like,
saw the light,
and
Right.
threw down for the cause,
Right.
Yeah, and so people were kind of like, because even after the Tania stuff and like her with the gun in the bank and all that shit, they were like, yeah, but like she didn't sign up,
Right.
she was taken,
Right. And you'd be like, oh, well, don't we draft soldiers all the time?
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's kind of a thing, too. Like, didn't she just go through her own boot camp?
Yeah.
There's a fucking mattress in the closet.
They break you down to build you up.
Yes.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, man. That is really kind of, yeah.
Pretty good, right?
So self-congratulatory.
Hey, I was wrong about Rollins Thompson. I bought it.
So, trial goes on, huge fucking, everybody's watching, and, when she's in prison, I saw, like, there was some of the stuff about the rat and all that. She was eventually, the sentence was reduced to 7 years, right? But dude, she was fucked up after. She had a collapsed lung.
Oh, God.
Just from stress?
Yeah, she had a lot of medical problems. She had so many medical problems that she was called to testify against the Harrises and couldn't go. She was fucked up in prison. Bad.
But wait, but she wasn't beat up.
No. It was like I think the trauma like caught up with her in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, you go from, the fucking softest pillow on earth rich girl,
Right.
and then suddenly
You're a mattress in a closet.
yeah, there's dead bodies and fucking like your friends burned alive, and like I think it all
The mental anguish will take a toll on the body.
yes
When you realize that, like, oh, this wasn't just cosplay.
Right.
yes yeah, and then especially the ensuing 18 months of like
The malnutrition, too.
malnutrition, and just like being like, okay, now we're with this girl, I guess maybe we can trust her. Like they all got more paranoid against each other, and it was, they were just limping along, like still trying to fucking blow up cops and stuff after all that. Like, dude, like, yo, guys, split up. You know what I mean? Go to Connecticut, like Salida,
Yeah.
whatever. But so there was like a weird thing that was happening, which was the people that would advocate for Patty Hearst, and one of them,
Like people in her life.
no, even like famous people.
Uh-huh.
And so there was one of the representatives that was like collecting, petition signatures, to get her out, was the congressman that went to fucking Jonestown and got mowed down on the tarmac.
Oh.
He he was doing that while that happened. Check me out one time like this.
Kick it.
Then John Wayne comes out and he goes, Jonestown got everybody so brainwashed to drink their own poison and kill themselves, and we're saying Patty Hearst can't be indoctrinated by the SLA? John Wayne comes up with actually kind of a salient point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I went to one bar in Silver Lake, and all of a sudden I like getting butt fucked up the keister. You're telling me that this poor rich girl, Pilgrim,
Yeah. Now I don't see why somebody can't chug Flavor Aid.
Me, I'll tell you, I've chugged gallons of cock over on Hyperion. That's a little more Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, I was chugging cock down on. I had Hyperion.
Listen, Pilgrim, nothing be ashamed about. What do you say, Mister?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Mr. Wayne, Mr. Wayne.
and so the trial is taking place like in '76, and Jimmy Carter commutes the sentence, and he just goes like he completely believes her side. And he just goes like,
there's hefty donations from the Hearst family super PAC.
I don't know, man. Jimmy Carter's.
I vibe with Jimmy Carter very hard, but it's worth asking.
The last day of Clinton's presidency, it's completely commuted.
No shit. He commuted he pardoned a lot of people,
and a lot of Weather Underground people too. There was a lot of like what he saw as the casualties of his generation. Yeah, people that ended up in those kinds of places. That they
Carter pardoned a lot of draft dodgers.
Yes, he did. Yeah. So, I think 2 years after her release, she only ended up serving, fucking, like 2 years or something like, yeah, Leo Ryan was the representative that went to Jonestown. It was collecting signatures. Like, it's just like when you think
and he went to Jonestown to stop what was going on and got on the tarmac.
He was checking on them.
Right.
And so, because a lot of them were San Francisco people. Right. So it was in the locality.
Right.
And so.
He's checking on his constituents.
Yes.
Make sure the Kool-Aid's good.
And
it wasn't.
And then he saw, and you see it in the documentary, it's chilling, man, because he goes there and he checks and he goes, you guys seem to be doing great here. And then he gets like a standing ovation that goes on like too long. And then a couple of other people like had just slipped him some notes, just being like, "Hey, it's fucking a nightmare. Like, get us the fuck out of here." And then basically like, Jones just made the thing like when he was going back to fly back to America, he goes, "Nah, he can't leave.
You can't leave.
You can't leave, and also
not without having a drink.
And then also we all can't leave. Like this is the end." He saw like the writing on the wall, and he was just like. That's that.
That's we. I
but
can't
that like
we
getting
done that
sprayed down on the fucking like, holy fucking shit, man.
Murked on the tarmac.
But it was. I don't think it's true for Patty Hearst.
The brainwashing.
Yeah. I think she was riding a little bit of an adrenaline thing,
and being a 19-year-old semi-sheltered.
But also the trauma could have been part of it. She said Sinkyu and Willie both raped her, and I think like in her memoir she said something like, "Oh, once I had sex with Willie, like I didn't feel like I could refuse sex with Sinkyu because it would be deemed racist," and yeah, it's so dumb. But it was just like,
I get it.
Weren't you just having a good time? Like I don't know. She was a captive, and Jeffrey Toobin,
right? Like it's like somebody who's arrested by the cops cannot consent to having sex with that cop.
Right.
Of course, yes.
There's plenty of states where that is actually legal, and that's insane. Despicable and barbaric.
Yes.
And so I understand why she says that she was raped. I understand that.
Yes,
argument.
People in the SLA understood it.
Yeah.
They were like, there is coercion here that you cannot ignore.
Right.
And, Jeffrey Toobin, that was the one thing he said in his book about it. He was like, listen, there's no circumstance where that isn't rape.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, she might have gotten into it. It might have been completely, but the circumstances were against her will from the get-go.
It's not even playing field there.
Yeah. So... There's this thing where like, I think she's become this symbol of people thinking like, oh, it turns out if you're rich enough, you can just fucking honeymoon as a goddamn gorilla and even be unrepentant about it when you get arrested, and you can still get out.
Yeah.
But you know, the Stockholm thing we talked about was, I think, only like 2 years before, so that wasn't even like part of the the consciousness.
Yeah, it wasn't in the zeitgeist yet.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr was buying it, and so then, you know, she got, and then her dad was like, okay, now you have a security detail.
Yeah,
and she married.
And try not to fuck them while you're at it.
She did. She married one of them.
Yeah, see,
and yeah, it turns out if you just hang around,
you just gotta hang around Patty Hearst. Eventually, she'll fuck you.
If you're in a position of authority,
that's me being such a dick.
No.
But yeah, he was ironically a former cop moonlighting as a security guy, and this is like, I think 2 years after she got released, when she'd just been making IEDs to kill cops.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
Yeah.
When the pardon was going through, I think the biggest opponent of it was Robert Mueller.
No shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of like fucking weird fucking ties to this case, man. Wow. They had 2 girls, and I think one of them was married to like Chris Hardwick.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And I think the other one was like a model and actor, and like fucking dude, bananas. And so now it's really, this is like the crazy irony is
she the one that divorced Chris Hardwick and
I don't know
all that shit?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I didn't get that far, but now her big thing is dog shows.
Patty's
big thing is like you know, little fucking silly Shih Tzus and stuff at dog shows, and like she's in Hillsborough, and she's just like weirdly like become her mom, like a rich lady
wearing black,
doing dog shows.
Makes sense.
At least she's friends with John Waters. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Squeaky Fromm and fucking Tracy Lords and like whole gang of misfits.
Johnny Depp,
everybody John Waters
and Divine.
Ooh, yeah,
eating dog shit.
Divine's eating her dog's shit.
Yeah.
This is pretty good, John.
This is divine.
Delish.
But yeah, it's you know, an amazing story. It's you know, the legacy of it is one that I think what I said of, you can fucking go on vacation as a god.
Yeah, if you're rich enough, you can moonlight. You know, as
and the sympathy outpouring.
You poor thing.
From people like John Wayne is like.
Oh, well,
he was going to attack a woman on stage for being a Native American.
He wanted to beat the shit out of her, like, which is
this is a white lady. Though,
the whole argument is that it was her it was just it was a confluence of circumstances that wasn't this person's fault, which made them get to this bad place.
Yeah, which is anybody that's victimized.
Is anybody in general is a victim of circumstance.
Yeah. Of course.
It's just it's so hypocritical. You know, they
went down there in Jonestown. They started chugging sugar juice, and in their own lives. And you're telling me poor Patty Hearst over there,
she wasn't sucking on
salt of the earth,
but busting through the drywall, saying, "Oh yeah,
Jesus."
Oh yeah. Very nice, John.
Very nice, John.
Didn't know much about this story.
Same.
You know, it's big cultural touchstone, and you really shed some light on it.
Yeah, it was. You know, I mean, it's just it's really interesting too, because like the food thing is the first thing my dad told me.
Right,
about.
they send food to the ghetto, and they did.
And he was going like, dude, like they fucking achieved that, and I was like, oh, that is fucking interesting. And then when I found out more about Donald DeFreeze and stuff, and like, you know, he's kind of he's a little Manson-esque. He's the one with like the rap sheet, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And also like part of like his, you know, they had like a fucking constitution, like endless manifestos,
a lot of free time,
and then a bunch of, you know, like college actors getting in on it, and you know, basically just like not questioning him, and then his paranoia extending to them and making it worse and worse. Like it was such a fucking, you know, thrill ride. You know, like they were just like balls to the wall, everything. Like everything was a carjacking.
Right.
There's always guns out. It's like, guys, can you fucking calm down? Do you want to have a low profile, or do you want to all get burned in a house?
Well, they're actors.
Are you a real Liberation Army, or are you playing a role? Like,
Yeah.
you know what we should do right now? It's been 2 acts since we've done anything crazy with Jack or Car, right?
Yeah. One of the guys, he said a thing like during like the campaign when it was still going on. He goes like, he's one of the guys that was imprisoned, of course. He goes like, oh yeah, you know, I think they're doing this now and they've kind of lost their way. It's like, what, the 8 people? The 8, like,
Yeah, it's like Chevy Chase saying, "Oh, SNL's done."
Yeah. It's like
You were in it for a minute.
Yeah.
And there's 10 others.
yeah, and like he was the only black guy in it, and part of like the SLA like stuff was like, never again can a white person be in charge. They've proven unfit. But also, like, he's the only one. And then the SLA did continue after with just, like, 3 white women and 1 guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, and, like, oh, man, what a fucking time. Like, it's certainly, I mean, like, I'm sure, like, that time when it was, like a bunch of them, like, you know, stuff, that was all exciting with Robin Banks and stuff. Yeah. But the 18 months on the road with just 2 of you, 2 other people, and...
Yeah, that sucks.
Maybe we can get some beans.
Maybe.
If you steal them.
Yeah, tuna fish would be nice.
Oh,
chicken soup.
Bean Jack.
John Weed gave me tuna fish.
Yeah.
Steve Weed gave me tuna fish with mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chunk white. None of this chunk light shit. You give me that solid white albacore.
I love that dude saying, I got to get back from my baseball game.
Yeah.
He's going to the baseball game after he's been kidnapped by the SLA, no matter what.
And you know what? I bet he bet for the cycle.
Oh, he's playing great. He's
the
running.
best game of his life.
He's running hard.
Listen, guys, this is all funny games, but I got a game to
He's
make.
wearing the cuffs when they win.
Yeah.
He's wearing the cuffs.
These are good luck. These are good luck.
These are my batting cuffs.
Yeah.
The good thing about these cuffs is you can still choke up on the bat.
Yeah.
Hey, with the SLA, this is Tania. Holy shit! Just like the most.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I can't believe I haven't done it before. I really do like the story, and it has so much implications for like
a lot.
A lot,
yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So she went to Connecticut, raised this family, dog shows, etc. And then, ironically, the other fucking suburban lady that was found out to have been in that time with her was also in Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's a place for suburban ladies.
Yeah, dude. They were like,
Connecticut.
man, we gotta get away from California. We did too much shit here. Let's go. Go back to the Blue Bloods.
Never find us.
But yeah, fellas, that was fun.
Pretty
That was
good,
great.
John.
Thanks, John.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
Yeah. Start with some little light pea drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Lead into some 70s gorilla
Hey, all
resistance.
right. Start with pea drinking, end with Kool-Aid drinking. All right.
All right. I'm gonna say goodnight. My name is John Fahey.
I'm going to say good night. My name is Aaron Pita.
Mapper so.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.
Scarpins Avenue.